Good morning. Today for your journal, I'm going to be reading Pete the Cat to you. Two things I want to tell you before I start reading. While I'm reading, I want you to pay attention to what the setting is. So where is the story taking place? Who are the characters? I think you already know who one of the characters is going to be. And what's the problem? What problem does Pete have in the book? I want you to be thinking of that as I'm reading the story. I also want you to know that you can go onto AR and you can take a quiz on this book, okay? Because I'm reading it to you, so then you can log on to your AR account and take a quiz for the book. So let's get started. Pete the Cat, Pete at the beach. So remember, I want you to think about the setting. Where is the story taking place? The setting. And do you think this is fiction or non-fiction? Fiction? Is it fiction? Is it fake? Is it make-believe? Or is it non-fiction? Is it real? Does Pete the Cat really do all of this? What do you think? So Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach by James Dean. Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach. It's a hot day. Pete the Cat goes to the beach with his mom and his brother Bob. Who are the characters? Let's go in the water, Bob says. Maybe later, says Pete. Bob likes to surf. He rides the big waves. It looks like fun. I'm hot, says Pete. Go in the water, says Mom. Maybe later, says Pete. So far, who are the characters? We have Pete, we have Mom, and we have Bob, the brother. Pete makes a sand castle. His mom helps him dig. Here comes a big wave, and there goes Pete. What's he doing? Oh no, where did his sandcastle go? Bob rides a big wave. Wow, says Pete, that looks like fun. Pete and his mom take a walk. They find seashells. They see a crab. Pete's feet get wet. His feet feel cool. The rest of him is hot. It's time for lunch. Pete eats a sandwich. He drinks lemonade. The sun is very hot, and Pete is very, very hot. Bob is wet and cool. Why do you think Bob is wet and cool and Pete is very, very hot? Let's play ball, says Pete. No thanks, says Bob. I want to surf. Pete throws the ball. His mom catches it. Let's get our feet wet, says Mom. Well, okay, says Pete. Before we move on, I want you to notice we have our quotation marks again. Quotation marks, they're used when somebody's speaking. Right now, Mom was speaking. She said, let's get our feet wet. So we used the quotation marks. And then Pete was speaking. He says, well, okay. The water is cool. It feels good. Pete goes in deeper. Bob waves to Pete. I want to show you how to surf, he yells. Pete does not say, maybe later. He says, let's do it. Lie on the board, says Bob. Pete lies on the board. Paddle, says Bob. Pete paddles out. He waits for a big wave. A big wave is coming. Stand up, says Bob. Pete stands up. Then Pete falls down. It was scary, but it did not hurt. Try again later, says Bob. Pete wants to try again now. Pete lies down again. He paddles out and waits. Here comes a wave. Pete stands up. This time he rides the wave. Good job, says Bob. Pete wants to surf all day. Bob does too. So they take turns. Pete and Bob rock and roll with the waves. What a great day. It's okay to be afraid, but it's more fun to surf. So, a couple questions for you. Who were the characters? The characters in the story were Pete, Mom, and Bob, his brother. What was the setting? Where were they? They were at the beach. And what was the problem? What was Pete's problem? At first, he saw his brother surfing, but he didn't really want to go in the water. I think he was afraid. His brother invited him, but he was afraid to go in the water. But then finally at the end, his brother invites him, and Pete finally says yes. He says, let's do it. And then over here he says, it was scary, but it didn't hurt. So Pete was scared before to go in the water, but then he tried it and he ended up liking it. So I think the lesson in this story is that sometimes things seem scary, but if we try them, they turn out to not be so bad. So that's what your journal for today is going to be about, trying different or new things. I'll post the picture of it, but today your journal is going to look like this. It says, trying new things can be cool. This year I want to try blank because blank. I would also like to try blank because blank. So really you only have to give me one reason. You only have to write the part that's blue. This part is extra if you want to do a little bit more writing. Okay, so the part that's not in blue is extra. And I'm going to read you my example because today, after you're done with your writing, you're actually going to record yourself reading your writing and you're going to post it to the class website. So we're going to get to see or hear everybody's journal today. I'm going to read you mine. Today I said, trying new things can be cool. This year, I want to try eating fish because it is healthy and it's good for me. But right now, I don't like it. I would also like to try gardening because it seems relaxing. Gardening is like planting flowers and planting veggies. So those are two things that I don't do that I would like to try. So I want you to think of two things that you want to try that might be good for you, okay? And remember, when you're done, I want you to record it and you're gonna post it on the class website. I'll give your parents more directions about that, okay? See you later.